The Sonic OC, short for Sonic Original Character, carefully crafted by dedicated fans like you and I. From speedy hedgehogs to cunning foxes, mysterious echidnas to whimsical rabbits, the possibilities are endless when it comes to creating your very own Sonic OC. There's no shortage of them within the Sonic fan community, with fans sharing their creations online through social media, platforms, forums, fan websites, and even larger collaborative projects like fan games or fan animations. For Sonic fans, creating an OC can be a great way to showcase creativity, contribute ideas, and show love for the Sonic franchise. Fans pour their hearts into designing how their OCs look. Some of them turn out exceptional, while others fall flat. Today, I'm going to critically evaluate and redesign some of your guys' Sonic OCs. So recently, I tweeted out asking you guys to offer up your brain children, and me, being the very small creator that I am, thought that I'd get, probably like 10 replies or something. I got over 150 freaking replies. Like, this has to be the most replies I've gotten on any tweet. Like, I was legit shocked. I even got replies from artists that I actually follow and really admire their work. So I'm not gonna lie, I ended up being kind of starstruck on some of these. So obviously, as you can see, I ended up having a very nice big selection of characters to choose from. Thank you to everyone who did reply with your character. Obviously, I'm not going to get to every single one of them in this video, but I really appreciate you guys submitting them. I plan on doing more of these in the future, so make sure you follow me on Twitter and turn on your notifications to make sure that you guys don't miss out on any OC review tweets. For this video, I'm primarily looking at the physical design appearance of the characters. I'm not paying attention too much on the backstory or the personality, although I am aware that what a character looks like can be a reflection of their personality. I'm more of an art and design person. I'm not necessarily like a writer or a storyteller, so I don't really think I'm in a position to critique anyone's backstory on their character. So you're probably wondering what exactly puts me in a position to review the physical design. Bachelor's degree in graphic design, professionally working as a graphic designer for about 4 years, posting Sonic fan art online for about 3 years, and 3 Sonic OCs to my name. I would like to think that I know at least just a little bit about good color choice, proper anatomy, body proportions, etc., etc. So some of the criteria that I'm going to be looking at. Originality. How original is your character? Do they look like any other characters that are already in the Sonic universe? I'm not going to be super critical about the originality of the characters. The Sonic universe is so massive at this point that it's really hard to find something that hasn't already been done. I mean, my OC Orko is pretty much a purple version of Tikal. But don't get me wrong, if your character looks like a blatant ripoff of another character, I'm gonna call you out on it. I'm going to. Color choice. What color palette did you use? How well do the colors work together? Design versatility. Like, how well would this design translate into other mediums such as animation, cosplay, etc.? Can this design easily be adapted outside of the 2D fan art landscape? And finally, it's just going to be my overall opinion. Disclaimer! Look, we all put a lot of time and effort into designing our characters. And while we want them to be as perfect as possible, every character has their flaws. Hell, you could probably point out so many flaws with my OCs. My point is, there is probably a chance that I will say something about your character that you do not like. If I end up absolutely flaming your character, just know that I'm just trying to have a little fun with this. It's mostly going to be for comedic purposes. I'm not trying to put you down or anything. It's not meant to be taken personally. The main goal of this video is to provide you guys with valuable feedback that is meant to help you in redesigning and refining your character designs. The last thing that I would want to do is discourage an aspiring artist from continuing to grow and improve. So, with that intro out of the way, let's get started. Okay, so the first character we have here is from YOUR Echidhog, I think that's how you say it. So, just a couple things that are kind of jumping out to me right now. I'm not really a huge fan of all the hair that we have going on here. I'm not really sure if this is a design that would translate very well outside of 2D art. I also think having realistic looking muscle definition on Mobian characters can come off as kind of unsettling sometimes. There's other ways to illustrate strength on Sonic characters, whether it be making a more puffed out looking chest or simply just making the character bigger and making their arms wider. I will say I do like the outfit, definitely giving me kind of like outdoorsy hiker vibes. I'm not sure if that was the intent with this character, but that's kind of the aesthetic that I'm getting from this. I also like the color choice. I think that these colors in general look pretty well together. I might experiment with some different colors as I'm redesigning this, but overall I think the colors are pretty good. We might be able to come up with a different color for the gloves and the shoes, or maybe a different color for the brown fur. I think these two shades of browns are a little too similar, and I think we can probably come up with some more contrast to sort of separate the two. So I'm just going to kind of start sketching out this character. So I think for this character, I'm gonna do kind of a more Knuckles type character body. I think on Twitter they said that their character was an Echid hog, which I'm assuming is a hedgehog echidna hybrid. So I'm thinking we can do more of a Knuckles looking body type. So we're gonna puff out the chest a little more, and then we're gonna give him kind of like a very strong looking power stance. Okay, so we have the basic anatomy shape drawn out now. I think for the body, it'll be more of like a Knuckles echidna type body. So for the face, we'll give it like a hedgehog Sonic looking face, like a hedgehog nose. I will say I do also kind of like these big ears. I think that's kind of cool looking in my opinion. So I'm going to carry that over to the new design as well. And of course, we'll add a little bit of fur to them. So what I'm thinking for hair is if we have hair that kind of comes down to way down near where the muzzle is. Alright, we'll move on to the body now. Again, I'm pretty cool with the original outfit, so we're just going to carry that over again. Then we will add the arms. Then we'll add the shorts as well. And then in general, I do like the boots. I think I'm going to change them just a little bit. Not really a huge fan of the bow on the front of them like this. That's just my personal opinion. In the name of just trying to do something a little different. With my own character, Orko, I feel like I've gotten a little bit better at drawing like Timberland style work boots, or just like hiking boots in general. So I'm thinking we can kind of do like the same thing, or something similar. Something like that. We add some more traction. I will admit, I still kind of struggle with drawing boots from, or just shoes in general, from the front angle. I always think it turns out so weird every time I do it, and I'm trying to get better at it, but it can be kind of hard. I think we'll also stick with similar gloves that the original design had as well. So they kind of have like this big, whatever you call it, the hole. the hole that you put your hand through on the glove. I guess it's just called the hole. I don't know if it has like a technical term or anything. And then I'm thinking maybe we can kind of have the hair come back like it does in the original, and maybe kind of do like a mullet type hairstyle. And then finally we'll also add kind of a tail poking out through the back as well. Since this isn't a kid hog, I'm thinking kind of like a halfway between a Sonic tail and a Knuckles tail. So kind of something a little bit longer, but maybe not in the zigzag pattern as like a Knuckles tail. Okay, so in general, I'm thinking this as the new design here. So let me just outline this. Okay, so we just outlined the character, and as I was outlining, I also added back in the brown accent fur color over here, just to kind of round things out. I am just noticing now that I forgot a little bit over on the muzzle, or not the muzzle, like the mullet. So now I'm going to color this in, and like I said before, in general I'm pretty okay with this color palette here. I think the only thing I would change, like I said, is maybe finding a different color for the boots and the gloves. And I also might want to try like a more earthy looking green as well, kind of to match with like this sort of outdoorsy aesthetic we got going on here. So we're just kind of going through and coloring everything in. I'm thinking maybe what I can try doing is, instead of using this brown for like the fur color, we use it for the gloves instead, and for the boots. I'm thinking maybe something like this green for the shorts. Yeah, I kind of like that. I'm gonna make the belt kind of like a gray, but not too gray. I don't want it to blend with the outline. And I'm thinking for the accent fur, maybe we try something kind of like a faded yellow, almost kind of like a Dijon mustard yellow maybe. And then we'll keep the muzzle the same color as well. And then I'm thinking maybe we just use this darker brown for the gloves and the bottoms of the shoes. And then we'll do kind of like a gray for the tank top as well. Okay, so as you can see, we have the before and we have the after over here. So overall, what did I do? I kind of toned down the hairiness of this character, kind of simplified it a little bit. I made the bangs go all the way over the eyes, just to kind of add a little bit of mystery and intrigue to this character. I also changed the color of the clothes slightly and changed the green of the shorts. So overall, we pretty much took the original design and we toned it down a little bit. So that's my bit of feedback, and that's how I would design this character. Yuan, thank you so much for submitting your character. I hope you like my suggestions, and let's move on to the next one. Okay, so the next character is from RobBoss99. Shout out to Rob. I've actually done some commissioned artwork for him before, albeit not of his main OC, which I am about to review right now. Regarding the shape of his head, I think it's a little too squished on the sides right here. Assuming that this character has the same proportions of Sonic, I think we can make the head a little bit more circular. Not really a huge fan of the outfit as well. I think we can do something a little bit better with the gloves and the shoes. One thing I also think is important to note, you want to try and stay away from pure black as a color, and you should really only use pure black for the outlines. Plus, there's more interesting choices that we can go with that aren't black, and I think that's something that we can explore with this redesign. I think I might want to change this hairstyle a bit too as well. It's okay, I just think we can probably explore some better options. Okay, we got the main outline of the character going, so now let's move on to the face. Start with the nose, move on to the muzzle, get some eyes going. Of course, we'll get some floppy dog ears on the side. Kind of remind me of Brian Griffin's ears from Family Guy. So one thing I'm kind of thinking with trying with the hair, I'm wondering if we can try sort of like a sticking up hairstyle. Maybe with some, so maybe like the hair kind of follows this path, kind of being like slicked back and maybe kind of to the side a little bit. And maybe we can add a little bit of height as well, because I know in the original design, we kind of have some nice volume to the hair, I guess you could say. So let's see if we can make this a little bigger. Yeah, so I'm thinking something like this kind of. I think that looks pretty cool. Okay, got some eyes going. Nice big smile, because I feel like he strikes me as like a cheerful dog kind of character. And then I kind of like what you had going on here with the spots on the ears, so I think we can carry that over here as well. Maybe add like one dot here, and maybe like a slightly bigger dot there, and then maybe like a third dot right there. I like that you included a neckerchief with your OC's design. I did the same thing with my other Sonic OC Rev. I think that the neckerchiefs tie in pretty well with the Sonic universe, so I think as an outfit choice, I'm pretty okay with that. Not a huge fan of the neck. It's giving very much Sonic Boom energy. Personally, I think with Mobian characters, while I guess it makes sense for any character to have some sort of neck because it makes sense for how they turn their head. In the Sonic universe, it's kind of not necessary, I don't think. That's just kind of a personal opinion of mine. I think other people might think differently, but that's just how I feel. So we're gonna add the neckerchief and keep that in sans the neck, or sans, however you say it. Okay, and then we'll add the arms in here. Boom, giving us a nice little thumbs up. Then we'll complete the rest of the body shape, legs. Now, in terms of the shape on the torso, I know you kind of just went with like the standard, you know, secondary color, kind of the same thing that we do with Sonic. I'm wondering if we can use the shape from the ears and actually make that the shape that's on the stomach as well. So we'll add the circle here, the big circle. And I'm wondering if we do like one circle there and like another circle right there. I think that's something pretty cool. It's something different, you know? It adds a little bit of uniqueness to this character. Now, in your original design, you have pants here, and I'm trying to think whether or not we want to do that with this design as well, because part of me is thinking that it's not necessarily needed. Yeah, I think we're gonna skip out on the pants for this redesign here. So now the shoes. I'm trying to think of something that we could do that fits like this style that we're going for this character, but also trying to do something a little bit more original. Okay, so I was browsing the internet looking for like cool like inspiration for shoes, and I found this pair here, and I'm thinking that we can kind of base it off of this design right here. I feel like that could be pretty cool. So I'm thinking we can have them be kind of long, and then they have like this strap thing, and we'll have it go down Maybe come down like so. We're kind of breaking the original design of the shoes, but that's okay. And then one thing I was thinking of as I was looking at the original shoe design, I know this part right here is supposed to be the socks, but I looked at it and it kind of looked like a wing pattern, kind of like that wing from Super Mario Bros. 3. I'm wondering if we can do that on the shoes. Maybe have it go like something like that, maybe? No, I think that's a little bit overkill. Probably not necessary. I think maybe we can do kind of like a diamond pattern, maybe, just to kind of keep it simple, but also add a little bit of pizzazz to the shoes. Okay, add the other foot, or the other shoe, I should say. And then I think for the gloves, instead of doing this sort of double whatever you want to call this, we can probably do the same similar thing that we did with the shoes down here, and maybe have it just kind of be like sock type material with a little bit of a belt going on here. We'll give them a nice big ol' thumbs up to the audience. Like, hey, I'm getting redesigned. And then for the tail, I don't really think that the spots here are necessary. I think it's not really adding anything, so we're gonna leave them off of the tail. But we are going to add the little fluffy shape thing that you had originally in the other one. And overall, I think this looks pretty cool. So now we're just gonna outline it. Okay, so the outline is complete, so now we're gonna move on to the colors. I think the colors that you have right now are okay. I think we can probably just kind of mess around and experiment with some other things. I kind of like this orange that was used in the shoe design that we went off of. I want to definitely try and incorporate that in the redesign. I'm thinking if we maybe have it act as kind of like the main color of the shoes, and then maybe in the gloves as well. I think the blue of this neckerchief also will work really well with this orange as well, so I'm going to keep that blue the same. And then maybe we'll make the shoes the same color. I kind of like that. And we're definitely going to use this gray. We'll use the same blue for the eye color. And then I think you were pretty good with your original muzzle color as well. We'll make the belly the same color along with the tip of the tail. And then I'm wondering what it would look like if maybe we made the hair like this orange color that we have. Like maybe if we kind of do like something like that, and then if we just kind of color it in. Not gonna lie, I think that looks pretty good. Yeah, I think I like that. I'm gonna stick with that. So there you go, Rob. This is your redesigned character. So basically what we did, we changed up the hair a little bit. We made a different outfit, attire, new boots, new everything. No more pants. Overall, I thought taking this 3 dots design on the ear and putting it on the torso was a nice touch as well. I just realized I forgot to add pink for the tongue. And I also missed a little bit of brown right there. Oh my gosh. I don't know how I missed that. Does everything else look good? Just doing one last look. Okay, I think everything else is good. So anyways, there you go, Rob. These are the suggestions that I would make. Thank you so much for submitting your character. Hopefully you agree with my feedback. And now let's move on to our next character. Okay, so this is day 2 of recording this video. Our next character comes from Dragon Sin 7. I believe they said their character was a werepire, werewolf vampire hybrid thingy. Overall, this is a pretty good design. I definitely like the pattern in the hair and on the tail. I think that's pretty cool. I think this color palette works really well. It's definitely giving me very spooky Halloween monster cryptid vibes. While I do understand the use of the bat wings on the gloves, shoes, and earrings, I think it just makes the design look a little too busy and a little too cluttered. I think these stone mood ring looking decals do the design pretty good justice, so I don't think the bat wings are necessary. I think if I were to leave one, I would probably leave this like bow tie. I forgot to make a totally different layer for the sketch layer. That is a rookie mistake on my part. So we'll do the same thing kind of with the muzzle, where we have these whisker type floof things. Whatever you want to call them. And one last one right here. Do these lovely looking Rouge the Bat eyes. I don't know if these are technically supposed to be wolf ears or bat ears. They look like bat ears to me because they're definitely very Rouge-esque. It's probably where the vampire element comes into play here. I don't know, I went with this hand position. This is a tough hand position to draw. Okay, that's not too bad. Could probably roll with that. I definitely like the claws aspect of it, or like the nails, so we're gonna carry that over. I think for me personally, the diamond pattern on the glove isn't really doing anything for me, so I think we can skip that personally. I just noticed that this kind of black part of the gloves was here as well. I think that part also we can do without. I think just having like this pink will be good enough. In general, I think this design is a good example of less is more. There's definitely a lot of different patterns and elements to this. I think we can just kind of simplify it a little bit, just so that it's not as busy to the eye anymore. But we are going to keep the ring. That is going to stay. In general, I think this outfit is pretty good. I think I don't know what you would call this, vest or something, I'm not entirely sure. I think that can stay. I don't even know how you would draw this though. Something like that. And I don't know if that's like a belly button or not. I'm assuming it is. And we are going to keep the bat collar. Actually, we're just gonna hide the head real quick because I can't tell where the bat ends and where the head begins. Alright, so outline is done. Like I said earlier, I think for the most part, the colors are pretty good. And then I think this gray is a little too dark, so we are going to brighten it up just a little bit. I'm going to say the same for this kind of dark purplish color as well. I think instead of using this dark blue for like the hair highlights, we're going to use the same purple as the color of the bat collar. Nails we'll keep as this kind of brighter green. I think this pink is good, so we'll keep that. Add in the gray spots. Okay, so there we have it. So what do we do differently? I think what you had here was pretty good, but I think the design was just a little too busy, so I tried simplifying it with this redesign. The general color palette was pretty good, so we just made some slight adjustments that involved brightening up the gray and then changing this to match the purple of the bat. We removed the claws from the boots and removed any of the extra bat wings. I think now looking at this, I would like to try and incorporate this cape in here somehow. Other than that, this is what I ended up with. So Dragon, thank you so much for submitting your character, and on to the next one. Alright, final character of the evening comes from Brandon Jaggers. Where have I seen this character before? I don't know, I'm trying to think of this character, but it's no use. Oh my god, that was cringe. Alright, in all seriousness, your boy's looking a little bit too much like Silver here. I know we got like different colors, but we got like the same front quills here, same long quills in the back, same boots shape. I'm sorry, my guy, I'm knocking you on the originality points here. I appreciate the effort with trying to add kind of like the lightning aesthetic here with all of like the nice lightning strikes and patterns. Let's see if we can try and make this character our own now though. Getting that anatomy sketch going. So one idea that's kind of jumping at me early here, what if we keep this middle quill here and then maybe just add like a second one right behind it? Oh, excuse me. Oh my gosh, excuse me again. What is happening with my body? Oh my god. My body just went through like all 5 stages of grief right there. And then I'm thinking maybe we can kind of do like a side quill thing going on here. Like maybe just have like some, I don't know, maybe like some points or something. Actually, I think we're gonna scratch the back part there. On second glance, I thought it looked a little too weird. Maybe we'll do something like similar to Shadow in a way. Oh, I don't know. That doesn't even look that good either. I'm not gonna lie, maybe we'll have to like ditch the front quill. I think it looks a little too awkward. Dang, I'm not gonna lie. This one's got me kind of stumped right now. I'm not really sure what would look good. Almost make it look like it's Super Saiyan or like Super Sonic. Okay, nope, scratch that. We're scratching the head again.
Many hours later.
Okay. After what seems like an eternity, I think I've finally settled on a quill pattern for this character. So we're keeping the front quill like we had originally planned, and then we're kind of doing like a Sonic thing, but we're making the quills more angular to kind of fit with this lightning electric theme. And I think this is what we're finally going to go with. So instead of doing chest floof like silver, I think what we're gonna do is we're just kind of do kind of like a shock pattern type thing. Maybe we'll add some triangle shapes right here. Now for shoes. Not really sure where I want to go with the shoe design. Okay, so I was Googling shoe inspiration and then I remembered the shoes from Sonic Prime. I think that this kind of aesthetic would look pretty good for this character. So I'm going to try and design shoes that are loosely based off of these. Okay, kind of went with something like this. I am gonna tweak this actually real quick. There we go. I think that looks a little better. And then maybe if we add like a little kind of like, it's like a Knuckles-esque tail, because his tail kind of looks like a lightning bolt. So I think we can do something similar to that. I think it's appropriate for this character. All right, so there is our sketch for this character. Give it a good old outline. Alright, outline is done, on to the coloring. I think for the most part these colors are pretty good. The blue and yellow definitely suits the lightning, stormy feel that we got going on here. Coloring this bad boy. I am wondering though, maybe instead of this deep blue, what if we try kind of like a more cyan looking color? Maybe a color like this? Ooh, that might be pretty cool to work with. And then maybe we do the dark faded blue for like the gloves maybe, and the shoes as well. I also think the idea of 2 differently colored eyes is also pretty cool, so we're gonna continue that as well. I think we'll use the original dark blue color for the eye. Alright, so there we have it. So what did we do differently? Original character was looking a little too much like Silver, so we tried to make it our own. After a lot of trial and error, I came up with this quill pattern. I think it illustrates the lightning aspect of this character very well, I believe. And then we just changed up the outfit, gave him some new shoes, some gloves, tried to make it our own. I'd probably want to try and play around with the outfit a little more, but I think right here is some good groundwork. So this is how I would redesign this character and make it my own. Brandon, thank you so much for sending your character in. Hopefully you agree with my suggestions. And with that, that is it. 4 characters, 4 redesigns. Thank you to everyone who sent in a character. I know I couldn't get to everyone in this one. As I said in the beginning of the video, if you want your character redesigned, be sure to follow me on Twitter, turn on your notifications. That way you know when I'm going to be doing another one of these videos. And that's going to be it. See ya.